Hi everyone! Today we're going to continue our investigations on energy. Last week we learned that energy cannot be created nor can it be destroyed. Energy, however, can be transferred and it can be transformed. We learned two new terms, potential energy and kinetic energy. Potential energy being stored energy and kinetic energy being energy in motion. Before we get started with today's experiment, I want to show you guys two seemingly identical cans, coffee cans. I'm going to try to roll these in just a minute and let's see what you notice. I'm going to start off with our first coffee can, going to place it on its side and roll it. Let's observe and see what happens. We're going to do this with our second can. Again, I'm going to place it on its side and roll it. And let's observe and see what happens here. I rolled two cans on the floor and they both rolled, but did they roll exactly in the same way? They didn't. The first can rolled and it just stopped as soon as it ran out of energy and it just stayed there. The second can rolled, but then it started to roll back. What happened here? Is this what we would expect to happen? Why do you think this can rolled back, but this can didn't? Strange, right? What I want you to do is pause this video, take a minute, and make a drawing, have an explanation as to why you think these two cans are different. We know how they're the same, but how are they different? You think you have an idea of what's going on here? We'll answer the question at the very end, but to better understand what's going on here, let's do an experiment. For this lab, you will need some materials from your enrichment bag. Now remember, whatever we don't use from this lab needs to be returned back to be able to use in future labs. From the enrichment bag, you will need to take out your 2 coffee cups, 2 lids. You will also need straws. You will need electric tape, 3 rubber bands, 1 paper clip, a pony bead, and a washer. From home, you'll need to provide a pair of scissors, pencil, and a round circular object that you need to trace. The quarter is just the right size. You also need the help of an adult assembling this project. Using the materials in front of me, we are going to make drag racing cups. We're going to make a cup that's going to move or work with the use of elastic potential energy. Let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is place your quarter on the back of the bottom of your coffee cup and trace a circle on each of these cups. Once you have your circles, you need to cut out 2 circles. Now do not worry, these circles do not have to be perfect. Again, make sure you have the help of an adult. What I'm going to do is just poke through and poke through and carefully cut a circle in the bottom of my cup. Look at mine. Looks like a circle, but tons of jagged edges. Don't worry about it. It's just fine. Let's do that to our second cup. And if yours becomes a little bit bigger, that's fine too. You just don't want it to be too small. For the next step, really helpful to have another adult or somebody else to help you. Make sure your electric tape is opened, the package is opened, and you're going to take one long piece and just cut it to have it ready. And what you're going to do is connect the 2 ends of the cups together and tape all around. And this is a step where you do want to make sure you're lined up perfectly and you are as accurate as possible. And this is what your cups should look like, with the 2 circles lined up perfectly. The next thing you want to do is poke 2 holes in the center of your coffee lids, not the holes that are up there, but holes down here. And you want these holes to be less than 5 millimeters. You can use a pencil or your scissors to make this hole. Just like that. I'm going to do the other one as well. Always making sure you are safe with the scissors. And notice I'm working really carefully. I don't want to break the coffee lid. I just want to make a nice round circle, just like that. The next thing you're going to do is take your 3 rubber bands and we're going to link them together to make one very long rubber band. The way I'm going to do this is overlap one with the other and pull my finger through and pull the top one in between and link them together. So I have used 2. I'm going to do this one more time. With the end, you're going to overlap one on top of the other. My hand is going to go up and under, and I'm going to pull one. And now I have linked my 3 rubber bands to make one very long rubber band. Next, what you're going to do is take your rubber bands, run it through the middle of the cups,
take one of your lids and you're going to have your rubber bands go through the lid like so. Gently snap the lid shut. Making sure it's secure all throughout. And then using your paper clip, we're going to secure the rubber band does not move from here. Going to take my paper clip, open it slightly, have it go through the paper clip, slide it down, turn it around twice, and then tuck it under the paper clip. And then using my other hand, I'm going to pull. And now I have secured, notice I'm pulling here, and I have secured this rubber band on one end of my cup. Now this is the part that's a little bit tricky, so be careful. It might take a few tries, but don't worry, be patient. While I'm holding my other rubber band, I'm going to get my lid ready. And I'm going to pull the rubber band through the cup, making sure I'm holding it, I'm not letting go. And I can use my finger as a helper so that it doesn't slide through. And while I'm holding the rubber band, I'm going to, again, snap the lid very, very carefully. Notice this is one end, this is the other. If I let go, the whole thing's gonna get disassembled, so I'm going to be careful not to let go. And now what I'm gonna do is, I'm almost done. I'm going to take my mini metal washer and have the rubber band feed through the washer. Then the next thing I'm going to do is have the pony bead. Have that go through the rubber band. And the last thing I'm going to do now is take my plastic straw and push it through. And we are almost done.
This is what your final product should look like. Now I told you we're making drag racing cups, but any idea how to make them work? No batteries, no electricity, no remote control. How can I make this move? I just briefly introduced two terms, elastic potential energy and mechanical energy. Elastic, what does elastic mean? Is there anything here that's elastic? Rubber bands are elastic. Can we store potential energy in something elastic? Think about it. How can you make this move? How can we turn potential elastic energy into mechanical energy?
To make this drag racing cup move, the rubber band that's in here can store potential energy. We need to wind it up. Do we have something that we could use to wind the rubber band? The straw. Using your finger, just turn the straw. I would say 30 turns should be plenty, but don't let go just yet. Once you have wound it up 30 or so turns, we're gonna go find a flat surface and let go and watch it. I have my coffee cups with my straw wound up, and I'm simply going to just let go. Going to take my coffee cups, place it on a flat surface, and just let go.
Well, that was fun. Let's talk about what's going on inside of this cup and how it can move. There's 3 rubber bands in here tied together as one. Can't see those rubber bands really, but we are affecting them, right? We are using them. We're taking the straw. As we twist this straw, what's happening to the rubber bands inside? Well, if I take a quick peek, they're all coiled up. They're all wound up into each other. What do I have here? Potential energy. And we call that elastic potential energy because the rubber band is elastic. Now, what happens when I let this go? The elastic potential energy gets converted to kinetic energy. And this kind of kinetic energy we call mechanical energy because it's doing work. It's like a car, it's moving, it's working. Now, can you guess what must be in here? What happened to our can? How is this the same as this? Let's take a look inside.
From the outside, looks like a regular coffee can. Doesn't look like there's much to it, but see a little bit of tape here and a little bit of tape here. Clue as to something must be inside. What do you think is inside? Do you have your guess ready? Let's open it up and see. Inside of my coffee can, I have a rubber band, right? Elastic potential energy. And to that rubber band, I have a metal weight. This happens to be a battery. But what happens as I roll my can? That battery that's connected to the rubber band makes the rubber band all twisty, all coiled up, creating potential energy. And once it creates the potential energy, it has to release the potential energy, and then it starts to go back as it unwinds and creates mechanical energy.
Coffee can, drag racing cups, both are great examples to teach us potential energy and kinetic energy. Go ahead, assemble yours. I can't wait to see what yours look like. Try to see if you can improve on my design. See if you can make it even better.